Welcome to week 2 of Data 758, Cloud Computing and Analytics. This week we're going to focus on cloud computing models. So our learning outcome is to explore some of the different aspects of cloud computing and the models that are associated with it, their application in various industries. Now we're going to have a lot of reading, we're going to have a lot of material that we cover in this week. So there'll be some additional fundamental pieces which we're going to talk about. First of all, authentication, which is the breakdown of identification and verification, as well as virtualization. So the different types, full virtualization, para-virtualization, and hardware assisted, as well as some of the common technologies used in cloud computing. For the required reading this week, we're going to read chapter 2, 3, and 4. Chapter 2 will focus more on some of these fundamental elements, such as authentication and virtualization. Chapter 3 will talk about the cloud deployment models. Chapter 4 will talk about the cloud service models. So in addition to the required reading out of the textbook, there's some supplemental reading, breaks down on OpenID 2.0, which is a platform for user-centric identity management, and understanding the full virtualization, para-virtualization, and hardware assist. So those two key pieces will help talk about some of the fundamental items, and then the textbook will go into more detail about the deployment models and the service models, which you're going to need for this week's assignments. So our key topics, again, we're going to talk about authentication. Authentication is about the access control. So identification is really the piece that says, who are you to the individual server? Verification is confirming that you say who you are. And really some examples of this are Active Directory and LDAP. Now the reason why this is important is, again, getting access and having the different levels of access for an individual user within your environment, that's a complicated process. And so one of the values of going to cloud computing is it could make that easier for you, as opposed to having to maintain that across a whole group of on-prem servers. You can do that through centralized consoles. And we'll be able to show some of that during class, during our lectures in class. We'll be able to show you some of the actual hands-on within AWS or Azure, etc., though you can kind of see how that works. Virtualization, this is one of the biggest reasons why people have went to the cloud. And so there's several different types of virtualization which we talk about. The application, the desktop virtualization, those are very, very common. Storage virtualization, server, data, and network, and there's other types that are available out there. The biggest differentiation is the full virtualization versus the para-virtualization, and that's really where the instructions are actually executing directly against the OS and whether or not you're using layers between those. So full virtualization may be a little bit less secure. Para-virtualization has its values as well. So kind of understanding those two main differentiators, that's a big piece of it. But then in addition, there's hardware assisted, which talks about the use of a hypervisor. So we're going to have that included in the reading as well, and that's going to be something to take a look at. Now these are going to help you. These are some of the fundamental chunks that'll help you do into the deep dive into the cloud deployment and service models that you'll find inside the text. So there, they'll go into the different things like the private, the public, the hybrid, and the community clouds, as well as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and other types of service models that are available for you. So our discussion question for this week: imagine your company is considering a new software application. Which of these cloud computing models would be the best, most suitable for you and this application, and why? So give a brief context of your organization. If your organization is using a cloud approach, go ahead and discuss that too as well. What specific challenges do you see that are specifically tied to your industry, and what may not be present, that may be present in others? Those are some major things to focus on. And as we discussed the first week, if you're currently just a student or you don't have an organization, then just choose an example hypothetical company. Our requirements for the posts are again the same as what we discussed in the first week. Make sure it has extended thought, avoid the simplistic answers. Initial posting is due on day 3 of the week, and then at least 2 peer responses by day 7 for full postings, for full credits for the posts. We're using the relaxed APA for the forum posting. So again, cover page is not required. References must be cited at a citation to the end of your post. For the assignment, we're going to write a 5-page document that compares the main cloud computing models, and specifically within an organization. So find an example of a real-world organizations where these models have been used. Provide examples of applications or services that fit into each of these models, and explain the advantages and limitations of each of these models for the different business scenarios that you present. Again, this is going to have to be in full APA format, and it must demonstrate that extended thought of the topic, so avoid the simplistic answers. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out on the Help Desk forum, the weekly forums, as well as office hours and directly to the instructor. Thank you again, and welcome to week 2.